Welcome. Today we're going to try and cut through some pretty complex stuff around emergency operations.
Yeah, specifically looking at how rescue teams safely get people out of, well, tough spots like crashed vehicle.
Right. And this isn't about Hollywood action scenes. We're looking at material that's really designed for emergency medical responders, EMRs.
Exactly. It's about taking something inherently chaotic, like a car crash, and applying really clear, methodical steps.
To keep everyone safe, right? The responders and the patient.
That's the core idea. It's all about control. This isn't a rush job. It's a structured process, usually 7 key steps.
7 steps. Okay. So the goal is smooth, controlled extraction. What are the basic aims here?
Well, there are 3 big ones that guide everything. First, you got to ensure safety. Your safety, the scene's safety.
Okay, safety first. Makes sense.
Second is gaining access to the patient, but doing it safely and effectively.
Right. Can't help if you can't reach them.
And only then, third, do you focus on patient care and stabilization inside the vehicle before you even think about moving them.
So you really can't jump to step 3 until 1 and 2 are solid.
Absolutely not. Doing that is dangerous. So setting those goals really dictates the whole flow.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Talk us through that critical first phase, rolling up on scene, figuring out what's going on.
So right away, we're into the first 2 steps of that 7-step plan. Step 1, scene size up.
The second you arrive.
The second you arrive, you're looking at vehicle types, car, truck, maybe a motorcycle. How many patients can you see? And crucially, calling for backup immediately.
Backup like more ambulances?
Fire department?
Yeah, specialized resources. If you see hazards like maybe down power lines or it's a complex crash, you get that call in right away.
Yeah.
Don't wait.
That seems counterintuitive, maybe. You hear about the golden hour in trauma, getting people to the hospital fast. But here you're saying, stop, assess, call.
It's all about hazard control. That's step 2. Stabilizing the scene. You have to control the hazards before you can safely access the patient.
Ah, I see. The thinking is, if a responder gets injured because the scene wasn't safe, well, then the patient care stops completely. So safety first isn't just a slogan, it's operational.
Okay, so what are the big immediate hazards EMRs need to neutralize right off the bat? Stuff you might not see right away.
Traffic is always number 1. A huge danger.
To the rescuers, you mean?
To everyone. Rescuers, the patient, other drivers.
Yeah.
So positioning your vehicle is key, using it as a shield almost.
Creating a barrier.
Exactly. And using warning devices, flares, cones, whatever you have to slow traffic down and divert it away from the immediate work area. We call that the hot zone.
And what about people?
Yeah.
Bystanders milling around.
Yeah, human factors. Standard precautions for, bloodborne pathogens are a given.
Yeah.
But bystanders, they can be a real problem.
Trying to help. Or just watching.
Both can be hazards. They might try an unsafe rescue attempt, get too close, interfere with equipment. So you need to establish a perimeter.
Like with tape.
Rope, crime scene tape if you have it. Sometimes you might even assign a bystander who seems calm to just keep other people back. It's about controlling the crowd to control the scene.
Okay. Then there are the vehicle-specific hazards. Spilled fuel seems like an obvious way.
Very obvious and very deadly. First, find the leak. If it's safe, maybe try to plug it or contain it somehow.
But the main thing.
Eliminate ignition sources. Absolutely critical. No smoking anywhere nearby. Be careful with flares if there's fuel vapor. Anything that could spark.
Right. Now, something that's changed things a lot in recent years, car batteries aren't just simple lead-acid things anymore, are they?
Not at all. And that's a huge point in the updated training materials. Standard 12-volt batteries are hazardous enough acid, short-circuit risk.
But hybrids and EVs?
Exactly. Hybrids and electric vehicles, they run on high-voltage systems. We're talking 300, sometimes 600 volts or more. That's lethal if it's compromised in a crash.
Wow. So identifying if it is an EV or hybrid becomes part of that initial size-up before you even touch the car.
Absolutely critical. The protocol is clear. Assume the high-voltage system is active unless proven otherwise. You need extreme caution. Often you'll need specialized help, like the fire department trained in EV response.
Are there visual cues?
High-voltage cables are often bright orange, specifically for identification, but in a mangled wreck, good luck finding them easily.
Right.
So yeah, that one hazard alone really changes the game for the initial assessment, raises the stakes quite a bit.
Okay, so scenes, secure traffic managed, people back, immediate chemical or electrical threats assessed.
Right.
Now we need to deal with the vehicle itself.
Right.
Making it stable.
That's it. We're moving into steps 3 and 4 now. Stabilizing the vehicle and then gaining access. And stabilization comes first.
And the assumption is Any crashed car is unstable.
Assume every single one is unstable until you've made it stable. The goal is zero movement, total immobility.
Why is even a tiny shift so bad?
Because you might be cutting the car apart or trying to carefully slide a patient out on a backboard. If the vehicle shifts, even an inch, it could trap a limb, cause further injury, or even cause the whole thing to roll or collapse. Disaster.
So how do EMRs lock it down? What are the techniques?
Starts with the basics. Put it in park. Set the parking brake if possible. Chock the wheels. Put wedges against them, even if it's upright on all four tires.
Even if it looks fine?
Even if it looks fine. Then something interesting they mention is deflating the tires slightly.
Deflating them? Why? Seems like it would take time.
It does take a moment, maybe cutting the valve stems. But it lowers the vehicle just a bit, takes the spring out of the suspension, makes it sit more solidly on the ground or on whatever supports you put under it.
Gets rid of that bounce.
Exactly. But the really crucial technique, especially if the car is on its side or roof, is cribbing.
Okay, cribbing. What's that involve?
Using wooden blocks, wedges, and things called step chocks. They look like little pre-made pyramids of wood.
And you use those to build?
A solid, stable platform underneath the vehicle. You fill the gaps between the car body and the ground to make sure it absolutely cannot move, like building a temporary foundation right there around the wreck.
Building a solid base. Got it. So cars locked down tight. Now, step 4. Getting inside. Access.
Yep. Easiest way is always try the door first.
Yep.
Handle before latch, see if it opens.
But if it's jammed or locked?
Then you have to force entry. And usually that means dealing with glass. And this is where knowing about car glass is actually really useful for anyone, not just rescuers.
Okay, tell us about that. There are different types.
2 main types you'll encounter. First is tempered glass. That's typically your side windows and rear window.
The kind that shatters into a million tiny pieces.
Exactly. It's designed to do that, break into small, relatively less harmful cubes. EMRs use a tool like a spring-loaded center punch right in the corner of the window.
Pop. And it goes.
Pretty much. But even though the pieces are small, you still absolutely have to cover the patient and yourself. Protect eyes and airways from that spray of fragments.
Okay. And the other type?
The other one is laminated glass. This is almost always your windshield, and sometimes now on newer cars, side windows too, for quietness or security.
How is that different?
It has a layer of plastic sandwiched between 2 layers of glass. It's much, much tougher to break.
So punching it won't work the same way?
Not really. And if you do manage to break through it, say with a special saw or tool, it doesn't shatter into cubes. It creates these really sharp, jagged, dagger-like shards.
Ouch. Sounds way more dangerous.
It is a much higher risk of causing serious cuts, lacerations to the patient or the rescuer. So the general advice is avoid going through laminated glass if there's any other way in. Side window, rear window, try those first.
That really highlights the planning involved, doesn't it? Even just deciding which window to break.
Every step is deliberate. Now, the training material also touches on rescues that go beyond your typical car crash. These are specialized situations.
Right, where the hazards are different, maybe less obvious.
Exactly. And where the key thing for an EMR might actually be not rushing in, recognizing limitations becomes critical.
Like what kind of scenarios?
Well, take confined space rescue. Think grain silos, sewers, manholes, underground vaults, places like that.
What are the dangers there? Not just being trapped.
No, the big dangers are often invisible. Lack of oxygen is a major one. Or the presence of toxic gases, methane, hydrogen sulfide, lethal stuff.
So an EMR shouldn't just climb in.
Absolutely not. Not without specialized training, breathing apparatus, SCBA, gas monitors, and a whole dedicated technical rescue team backing them up. Going in unprepared is often fatal.
Okay, that makes sense. What else?
Water rescue. Maybe someone swept away in a flood or fell into a cold river.
Also very dangerous for the rescuer.
Extremely. The #1 rule is personal safety. Don't become another victim. The sequence they teach is reach, throw, row, go.
Explain that.
Reach first. Can you reach them with a pole, a branch, something from the shore? If not, throw them something that floats. A life jacket, a rope bag, a cooler maybe. If that doesn't work, maybe row, use a boat if one is available and you're trained. And only as an absolute last resort, go enter the water yourself. And even then, only if you have the right training and gear, because currents in cold water are incredibly dangerous.
So go is the very last option.
Very last. Then you've got things like farm rescue. Farms have unique hazards.
Machinery, I imagine.
Heavy machinery, yeah. Getting trapped in augers or power takeoffs. But also silos, again, risk of engulfment in grain or oxygen deficiency. and hazardous materials, pesticides, fertilizers, and hydrous ammonia.
Complex environments.
Very require specific knowledge. And another big one is a mass casualty incident, or MCI.
Like a bus crash.
Yeah,
Or a multi-car pileup.
exactly. Suddenly you don't have one or two patients, you might have dozens.
How do you even start to manage that?
It immediately triggers a different level of response. You have to set up an incident command system,
Yeah.
ICS. That's a formal structure to manage all the responders, vehicles, hospitals involved, coordinate everything.
And dealing with all the patients.
You use a triage system. The common one is start, simple triage, and rapid treatment.
How does that work?
It's a quick way to categorize patients based on their breathing, circulation, and mental status. You tag them usually green for minor injuries, yellow for delayed, red for immediate, life-threatening problems, and black for deceased.
So you can focus resources on those who need it most right now.
Precisely. It's about doing the greatest good for the greatest number when resources are stretched thin.
Wow. Okay, so we've walked through, seen size up, hazards, stabilization, access. That's the first 4 steps of the 7 you mentioned.
That's right. Those lay the entire foundation.
What are the final 3 then, briefly?
Step 5 is providing initial emergency care inside the vehicle before extrication. Stabilizing the spine, controlling major bleeding, managing the airway if needed.
So treatment before movement.
Always. Then step 6 is the actual the physical removal of the patient from the vehicle. This might involve cutting the car apart with hydraulic tools, carefully lifting them out, but it's controlled, methodical.
Based on all the stabilization done earlier.
Exactly. And finally, step 7 is packaging the patient for transport and moving them to the ambulance, ready for definitive care at the hospital.
It really is a complete system from arrival to handover.
Yeah.
So, tying this all together, what's the big takeaway here?
I think it's that this whole process provides a framework, a blueprint for managing incredible complexity under intense pressure. It teaches responders to be systematic, not just fast.
To control the chaos.
Yes. Stabilize the environment first, then the vehicle, then the patient. Be prepared for hidden dangers, the electricity, the chemicals, the unstable structure, not just the obvious injuries.
That makes sense. Now, connecting this back, the source materials really stress that EMRs need to know their limits, know what specialized help is available.
They absolutely do. Knowing when not to act is as important as knowing what to do.
So here's a thought to maybe leave people with. When is recognizing that you need outside help, like calling the power company for live wires, or waiting for a hazmat team for a big spill, actually more critical, more life-saving than jumping straight into the rescue itself?
That's a fantastic question. It really gets to the heart of prioritizing safety and resources. When is standing back, securing the scene, and waiting for the right help the single most important action a first responder can take?
It flips the script on immediate action, doesn't it?
So-
Sometimes the bravest thing is calculated patience. Something to think about.